Hi David, we're fitting your rear, you've got the hubs on. So the first problem is these bolts are a different diameter because these are R56 bolts and the R53 ones are narrower, and you've got spacers and therefore you've got longer bolts. So I won't be able to put the spacers back on because I don't have longer. I do have some bolts I can give you, but they're not very long, they're standard. Okay, that's the first problem. Second problem, so we're putting your R56 calipers on. That's your original caliper, and the new caliper is here with this new pipe, which is obviously the hydraulic main line. And when we put this on here, that main line impacts into there, which means I can't bolt that on. These are your shoes you bought, but they're really there for an R56, and the trailing arms on your car are from an R53. Looking under your bottom, so heat shield has seen better days. That's broken at the back, but not the front. Actually, sorry, that's the front there, and that's the back. It's completely broken here. This is very common. I could put a bigger washer on that one and make care of that. So that's that. You do have some surface rust across here. I'll take the opportunity to blast this off with a wire brush, and we can hammerite that or underseal it. Your subframe, yeah, I mean, everywhere you look, actually, it's an old car, isn't it? But this isn't too bad, but it is starting to rust under here, and all down here. So I guess we'd have to drop the tank to do it properly. Hi David, tank's been dropped, and we've painted quite a lot of this area, but here we've found a hole. Now, get the camera in there, you should be able to see. There's my finger. There. So we've got some corrosion. We've got a man with a welder here, and this is what he's doing. Go on, David, that's the finished result. Alright, David, do you want new shock absorbers and springs when we put them onto this together now, or are you happy with the old ones? Because there's obviously quite a lot of rust on elements, not completely obvious, but the shocks have got some rust on it, and it seems probably a good opportunity to do this. What do you think? David, just assembling this lot, so obviously the wheel bearing goes onto the arm there, and these bolts were supplied, and they're just not long enough, so they go in from this side, and they don't even go halfway through. So this, David, is the coming together of your Meccano set. So that's the section we're going to reuse. So it's been taken off to blast off and paint, and then we'll reassemble it with the new. David, this is your new subframe. We're going to try and fit it today. So what we've had to do is replace all the bolts. So this frame here is much thicker than the original. So all these bolts are new. That's new. What we've done, my biggest concern on this is these coming loose. So we've used Loctite glue, and actually some spilled over there, and double nuts on each of them. On here, 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 and the lower one. Just making extra sure that this thing stays on the car when you're driving. My biggest fear, as I say, is if these start to come loose. On the original, this is where the wheel bearing goes, and that's one of the bolts. You can see it's actually quite short. And then we have the same thing in the other areas, because your aluminium is a lot thicker than the steel. So these are your new rear shock absorbers, which we will fit. But these do not come with this part. And it seems a real shame to put a rusty bit of metal onto shiny. So I'm going to remove these, and I'm going to blast them off and paint them before fitting them to this, which I think is, it's just, seems to be, we're going to such lengths now to make it as good as we can make it. It seems wrong entirely to put that on as it is. David, your anti-roll bar, new one, old one. So that's the old bracket. This is a new bush, which I was going to use. Now that goes on there. That goes on there nicely. The diameter of that anti-roll bar, however, is thicker. If you look at that, it's just a thicker diameter, quite a lot thicker. So I need matching brackets to use it.